Respect is the foundation of every meaningful relationship, but when it starts slipping away, especially from your own children, it can feel like you're losing something deeply personal, something sacred. It's painful, isn't it? That moment when you realize they no longer see you as the guiding force you once were. May they talk over you. Maybe they ignore your wisdom. Maybe they even treat you as if your opinions, your presence, don't hold the weight they once did. But let me tell you something. Respect can be regained. In this guide, we're going to walk through 10 powerful ways to reclaim the respect that time, circumstances, or misunderstandings may have taken away. These aren't just strategies. They are timeless principles drawn from life's deepest wells of wisdom, shaped by experience and sharpened by truth. If this resonates with you, stay with me. And if you find value in this, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. Now, let's get started. Establish yourself as a respected authority. Respect is not something you demand, it's something you command. There's a difference. Demanding respect is like shouting at the wind, expecting it to obey. Commanding respect means embodying the very qualities that make it impossible to overlook. It starts with presence. Your energy, the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, sets the tone. If you don't see yourself as someone worthy of respect, neither will your children. Next, you must set boundaries with confidence. Boundaries are not walls, they are the framework of dignity. If you let your children speak to you in a way that belittles or undermines you, they will continue to do so. When a line is crossed, you do not beg for change, you state the boundary and enforce it. A simple, "I do not tolerate being spoken to like that," is not a plea, it is a firm declaration. And finally, remember this. You are not their peer. You are their elder, their guide. There is no need to chase their approval or to mold yourself into someone cool just to stay relevant in their eyes. Your wisdom, your experience, these are your power. Own them. Cultivate mutual respect by leading with example. Respect is a two-way street. You can't expect it if you're not giving it. Now, I'm not talking about bowing down or giving in to their every whim. I'm talking about modeling the very respect you want to receive. Children, whether they're 5 or 50, learn from what they see, not just from what they hear. If they witness you speaking to others with dignity, if they see you handling conflicts with grace, if they notice that you listen before responding, they will absorb these behaviors like a sponge. Respect isn't just taught, it's demonstrated. One of the quickest ways to erode respect is through belittling. Sarcasm, harsh criticism, or dismissing their feelings, even when they seem immature, can leave lasting wounds. If you want them to respect you, first, make them feel heard. Another key? Dignity in speech. The way you speak to your child will set the standard for how they speak to you. If you yell, they will yell back. If you mock, they will mock back. But if you communicate with measured words and a steady presence, that energy will return to you. Strengthen your personal boundaries. Boundaries are the backbone of respect. If you don't set them, if you don't enforce them, people, including your own children, will push past them, knowingly or not. A lack of boundaries invites disrespect. Now, let's be clear. Enforcing boundaries doesn't mean being harsh or distant. It means being firm and unwavering. If your child speaks to you in a way that is dismissive, condescending, or outright rude, your response should not be silence or appeasement. It should be clarity. A calm but unwavering statement like, "I will not continue this conversation if I'm being disrespected," says it all. No anger, no explanations, just a boundary. One of the biggest mistakes parents, especially older parents, make is feeling the need to justify every decision. You don't owe endless explanations for your boundaries. If you say no, let it stand. If you set a limit, enforce it. Over-explaining weakens your stance. A simple, "No, I'm not comfortable with that," is more powerful than a 10-minute justification. And here's something crucial. Consistency is everything. If you set a boundary today but ignore it tomorrow, it loses all weight. Children learn quickly whether your words carry meaning. If you say, "I won't tolerate disrespect but let it slide every other time," they will take you at your actions, not your words. Next, maintain emotional strength and self-worth. Let me tell you something that might sting a little. Your children's respect for you is often a reflection of your own self-respect. If you see yourself as small, as unimportant, as someone who must constantly prove their worth to be valued, they will see you the same way. Respect begins with how you carry yourself emotionally. If your children sense that their approval is what defines you, they will unconsciously withhold it as a form of control. Do not seek validation from them. Your worth is not measured by how often they call, how sweetly they speak to you, or whether they acknowledge your sacrifices. You are valuable simply because you exist. Now, I know it's hard not to take their words and actions personally, but emotional strength means you do not allow their moods, their choices, or their attitudes to dictate your own sense of peace. They can roll their eyes, they can dismiss your advice, but your sense of dignity must remain intact. And here's the thing: confidence is magnetic. If you present yourself as someone strong, someone self-assured, someone with a full and meaningful life outside of them, they will start to see you differently. They will recognize your independence, and in time, they will respect it. 5. Foster open communication, but don't over-accommodate. Communication is the lifeblood of any relationship, but here's where many parents go wrong. They confuse listening with giving in. Yes, you must listen, but you do not have to accommodate every demand or opinion. Many parents, especially as they grow older, start walking on eggshells around their children. They fear saying the wrong thing, pushing too hard, or standing their ground too firmly. But bending too much will not earn you respect. It will erode it. Encouraging honest dialogue means allowing your children to express themselves. It means letting them speak their mind, even when it's uncomfortable. But it also means holding your position when necessary. If they disagree with your perspective, let them, but do not weaken your stance to maintain harmony. Another mistake? Becoming their emotional dumping ground. Some children, especially as they grow older, will unload their frustrations on you, not because you are the cause, but because you are a safe target. If every conversation turns into them venting, criticizing, or using you as a sounding board for negativity, set limits. You are not their emotional punching bag. A simple, "I'm here to support you, but I won't engage in negativity," can shift the dynamic. Next, set fair but non-negotiable expectations. Respect isn't just about how your children treat you in the moment. It's about the standards you set for how they interact with you long term. If you don't define what is acceptable, they will assume anything is. Let's be clear, you are not asking for permission to be respected. You are requiring it. And that starts with defining clear expectations. If they habitually interrupt you, dismiss your input, or speak to you in a way that is belittling, you must communicate without hesitation that this is not acceptable. But here's the catch. Expectations only work if they are enforced. If you say, "I expect to be spoken to with respect," and then allow them to be dismissive, sarcastic, or cold, your words mean nothing. You must follow through. Another critical point: do not overcorrect. Some parents, once they realize they've been too lenient, swing to the extreme and start laying down rigid, unrealistic demands. Respect doesn't come from control, it comes from consistency and fairness. A child who feels they are being treated with dignity will reflect that dignity back. And lastly, don't let guilt interfere. Many parents hesitate to set boundaries because they feel they've made mistakes in the past. But respect is not a reward for perfection. It is a standard that should exist regardless of history. Demand, don't beg for respect. Respect is not something you plead for, it is something you embody. The moment you start begging for it, you've already lost it. Many parents, especially as they grow older, find themselves making subtle but damaging concessions. They phrase their needs as requests, hoping to be heard. "I wish you would visit more often. I'd appreciate it if you didn't raise your voice at me." But here's the truth. Respect is not a favor your children grant you. Instead of hoping they recognize your worth, state your expectations with certainty. If they speak to you in a way that is dismissive or condescending, you do not whimper, you do not negotiate. You stand firm. A simple, "I will not be spoken to like that," is not aggressive. It is not unkind. It is a declaration of self-respect. And here's something crucial. Your actions must match your words. If they ignore you, belittle you, or refuse to acknowledge your value, do not chase after their validation. Step back. Let them experience the consequences of losing your presence. Silence and distance can teach a lesson no words ever could. Invest in your own growth and independence. One of the most powerful ways to regain respect from your children is to show them that your life does not revolve around them. Too often, as parents age, they unknowingly place themselves in a position of dependency, emotionally, socially, or even financially on their children. They wait by the phone, hoping for a call. They cancel plans just in case their child needs them. They stop investing in their own lives, slowly fading into the background. And in doing so, they unintentionally send a message: my world revolves around you. But let me tell you something. Nothing commands respect like independence. When your children see that you have a life filled with purpose, hobbies, friendships, and goals of your own, they begin to see you in a different light. You are not just mom or dad. You are a person of depth, wisdom, and continued growth. Start by doing things that enrich you. Take that class you always wanted to. Travel, read, build new relationships, engage in conversations that don't center around them. Let them see you thriving. It's human nature. We respect those who are strong, who are engaged, who are full of life. And the more they see you as someone who is growing rather than shrinking, the more they will respect you. And here's the key. Never make them feel like they are responsible for your happiness. Love them, yes. Cherish them, but do not burden them with the task of making you feel whole. That is your responsibility, and when you take ownership of it, their respect will follow next. Do not tolerate disrespect under any circumstance. Disrespect should never be excused, explained away, or tolerated, not even once. The moment you let it slide, you teach your children that it is acceptable. If your child raises their voice at you, ignores you, speaks to you with sarcasm, or dismisses your words as unimportant, call it out immediately, not with anger, not with pleading, but with firm, quiet authority. A simple statement like, "I will not be spoken to this way," followed by your refusal to engage further, sends a clear message: I demand respect. Too often, parents excuse disrespectful behavior with phrases like, "They're just stressed, they don't mean it." It's just how kids are these days. But these justifications are dangerous. Excusing bad behavior doesn't just allow it, it encourages it. And here's the hard truth. There must be consequences for ongoing disrespect. If a child refuses to acknowledge your authority, do not reward them with your time, your energy, or your support. Respect is a two-way street. If they continually refuse to meet you halfway, step back. Let them feel the weight of your absence. Let them learn what it means to miss your presence. Because here's the reality. People only value what they believe they could lose. And if your children have come to believe they can treat you however they want with no consequences, it's time to remind them that respect is not optional. 10. Reaffirm your love, but with boundaries. Love is not weakness, and setting boundaries is not cruelty. In fact, they go hand in hand because true love respects itself first. Your children need to know that your love for them is unshakable, that no matter how strained the relationship becomes, no matter how much distance or tension exists, your love remains. But, and this is crucial, your love does not mean you will accept mistreatment. Many parents fall into the trap of unconditional tolerance, believing that proving their love means endlessly accepting disrespect. But love, real love, does not ask you to diminish yourself. It does not ask you to accept less than you deserve. So you tell them in words and actions, I will always love you, but I will not allow you to treat me in a way that is hurtful, dismissive, or unkind. Love and respect are not separate forces, they must coexist. If your child chooses to distance themselves because they do not want to meet the standard of respect you've set, let them go. Not out of spite, not as a punishment, but because your dignity is not up for debate. And in time, if they choose to return, they will return differently. Because deep down, even the most wayward child understands that respect is the foundation of all love that lasts. Respect is not something you beg for. It is not something you wait for. It is something you claim. By standing firm, setting boundaries, and refusing to accept anything less than the dignity you deserve, you teach your children a powerful lesson, not just about respecting you, but about respecting themselves and others. Will it be easy? No. Will it be worth it? Absolutely. So stand tall. Speak with certainty. And never forget, your worth is not something that can be taken. It is something that has always been yours.